And it's way easier for people on the outside to look and say, like, this is the thing that you're really awesome at. Like, this is what you should help other people with, but when you're in it yourself, you're like, well, it's just common knowledge to you because it's your everyday life. Lots of people that are struggling with, like, who is it that I need to help? Most of the time it's like, okay, what do others see you as an expert in? Excited to talk to Hayley today because she has been on an amazing journey, and it has been kind of a long road for you, hasn't it?
Yes, it has been very long. It's okay. It's worth it, right?
That's right. It's worth it. So let's first talk about, like, when we first met, like, where were you at in your business and everything? Because you were doing a lot of things.
I was doing a lot of things. So when I first met you, I was working one business, and I was kind of stuck at this middle rank, and I couldn't really get past it. So I definitely was putting a lot of work into my business, but I wasn't seeing much of an outcome. So I was pretty much, so I was looking for just a way to grow my business and to level up beyond my sphere of influence. Mm. And so I was ready to up my game, but so I enrolled in the program. And, but then what became readily apparent to me was that, like, a lot was going on in my life. And so my baby was waking me up, 5 times a night. And I was, where else was I? I'd been nursing different kids for 7 straight years. And I didn't quite realize what a toll it had taken on my physical health. And so, so I started with the program, and I immediately realized that it was huge to me, and it just started causing these major freak out. I started freaking out because it just seemed too big for me. Mm-hmm. But so that kind of set me on a journey to fix my body. And so that's been a struggle, and I found something that works for me with that. And really some of the tools that Brooke has helped me with, and the mindset. But then, and then also, just I didn't have a direction, right? And so I was looking for, I had like shiny object syndrome. So I was like, oh, there's so many people that I can help, and I just lacked complete focus. So does that make sense, Brooke?
Yeah. Oh, it totally makes sense. And I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially the shiny object syndrome, because everything, like, the grass is always greener on the other side,
Yes.
And so you're like, well, this isn't quite working. Instead of, like, taking, like, is this really going to work? You, like, jump from thing to thing, Yeah.
And
I see a lot of people that do that.
And then, so, part of Brooke's program is figuring out what your niche is. And so I kept thinking, and then this was causing some major existential, like, freakouts for me, because, I wasn't keeping it in perspective, for one thing. So, but, I was like, well, I can help women over 40. I can help moms. I can help, people who want to, have great hair and feel awesome. But really, I wasn't feeling awesome at the time. Now I have made strides toward that. But, I kept thinking about all the people I could help, but I wasn't really looking into who I really was and what I was all about. And Brooke has made that just so clear for me. And they've helped me, they kind of held my hand so many parts, so many ways on this journey, like, really just help me. They're so patient.
Well, we had to have some hard conversations too.
Yes. And it took a while, because I can be stubborn, but they really, they were hard. It was this journey has been hard, I can say, but it's worth it. It's worth the journey. The fact that I've been investing in myself. And the thing I was about to say about just your niche is I kept, like, it seemed so huge to me, trying to figure out who I served. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can always change it. You can adjust your course, but you got to start moving in some direction. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, totally. So, and narrow it down. So, like, what's your niche now? Because you said you could help people over 40, moms that want to have great hair, all of that. What's your niche now? We narrowed it down at the workshop. Is that still the same one that you're doing?
Yes, that's the same one.
Awesome. Good. I love it.
Yes. After all that, no, I am not changing it.
Good.
So after so much soul searching, really stepping back from the program, trying to really figure it out, it occurred to me one day, and it was that I am an extended nurser. So for the past 7 years, I have pretty much changed my whole life. Every single decision in my life is impacted by my decision to be there for my kids and to continue to nurse them, well over 5. And so, at some points I've been nursing 2 kids at a time, and, any of the effects, whether it be the nutritional draw, the impact on your travel, the impact on your career choices and your opportunities, all that stems back to extended nursing and the simple belief system that, this is the best and the most important choice for my child, no matter what. And so I just realized that was a special thing that I had to offer, and I have special expertise in that area because I am so familiar with all of the draws and all of the issues associated with that, because I've been doing it for so long and I've been so dedicated to it. So I figured that out in January, and I was really excited about that idea, but then the doubt creeps in. Mm-hmm. And so I was back at the workshop in April, and you guys just really made it so apparently clear that I needed to just go after this niche. And I have, and the clarity has been a godsend, allowed me to move forward even further in my business.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I think what happens to most people is that when other people are looking, because I knew way back a long time before January that that's the thing that you need to do. And it's way easier for people on the outside to look and say, this is the thing that you're really awesome at. This is what you should help other people with, but when you're in it yourself, you're like, well, it's just common knowledge to you because it's your everyday life, And
yeah.
So lots of people that are struggling with who is it that I need to help? Most of the time it's okay, what do others see you as an expert in, because I don't know very many extended nursers, but if I knew anyone, I would send them to you because I know that you know your stuff.
Well, thank you. And that's part of it though, is actually acknowledging and having the confidence to say, I do know my stuff. This is a special experience that I have. And this is something that I can offer to other people, because I see that in so many other women in your program is they're wondering, what's special about me? Mm-hmm. Who am I to give direction to other women? Who am I to be a leader in this space? And right. The fact is that you teach us, you only have to be 1 or 2 steps ahead of everybody else in that space.
Yep.
And you can be a leader. You just have to show them where you've been and that they can get there too. And so that's so empowering.
Yep, exactly. So through this process, you've also changed companies, right?
Yes. Yeah, I did change companies. And part of that is what you teach us, right? And it's that we have to be authentic to us. And mm-hmm. So for me, the company that I was trying to grow, it turns out that, I wasn't, that wasn't really me. It was just kind of an opportunity that I kind of fell into, and then I was somewhat okay at it, and I had some moderate success at it. So I was just rolling with it. But at the end of the day, I'm not that person. That's not my zone of genius that I'm operating in. And so when I switched over to my current company, a wellness supplement company, it turns out that is my zone of genius, and that's what I'm known for. And that's something that Brooke really helped me to iron out. Just, you do market research, you ask people, when you think about me, what do you think about? And so I did that after one of Brooke's TV shows a couple months ago, and I put it on my wall. Just, what do you guys think about when you think about me? I'm doing some research for a project, and overall, overwhelmingly, it came back health guru, wellness, and so that really, and that was kind of frustrating for me at the time because I was trying to sell hair care.
Right. You're that's not the answer I wanted.
That's not it.
And I can so see you doing that too, being no, don't tell me that.
But I know it was cool. It was actually an amazing feeling to get what people said, because people were like, you're caring, you're looking out for others, you're healthy. And I'm like, well, that's cool, because that really is what I'm about. But that's
right.
I don't see how that's going to help me sell hair care. So that was part of my frustration. Yeah. And it turns out that as soon as I switched over into another company, like I was operating my zone of genius. And so I was able to, and then the system is set up so that you can help other people. And that's really what I am. I'm a helper. And so I love that we can work together and we can be a team, and you can be doing business together. And it's super fun like that. Because other companies, sorry, just sometimes the system is set up so that, it's every person for themselves. But this wasn't the case in this situation. So, so I earned my auto bonus in 3 weeks of switching. And then
so now you're driving what? What kind of car do you have?
Oh, okay. So I know this is going to sound weird. Maybe, I don't know if it's going to sound weird, but I'm shopping for cars because.
Okay. So you haven't picked one yet.
Yeah, because my personality is that, I drive a minivan, and I drive a minivan for a reason. And
right.
The reason is that it fits all my kids and it fits all my stuff and it fits my lifestyle. Like, I didn't compromise when I bought that minivan. So I love the minivan. So now I'm looking at these other cars and they're not minivans. So I'm like, do I really want to get, I didn't want the auto bonus for the actual car. I wanted it, if this makes any sense at all, I just wanted it for the recognition that, I'm an achiever in this space. I've been working so hard at it.
Yeah.
Yes, you've earned it. And it was a frustration for me because I've been in network marketing for about 5 years. So I just wanted that acknowledgement, and, so I got it, and I'm still looking at cars. I'm still entertaining the ideas. Mr. Zeidman, he's against it. So
he's like, no, keep the minivan.
Well, because the minivan is paid off, and then you still get a payout, even though you don't, even if you don't get one of the luxury cars. So,
right.
But yeah, so I got the auto bonus in 3 weeks, and then I was able to earn a $20,000 bonus, re-rank for the auto bonus. And then, another woman, I was able to help her get her auto bonus. It's so rewarding.
It is. Because I know you have like the best heart to help other people. So that's so exciting that you're able to help them walk the path that you are walking.
Yes. And because for me, it's like business is no fun if I'm the only one having success. So I want everybody, I just want to bring everybody up. And that's what this new opportunity is allowing me to do. And, so it's been an amazing ride. I know that none of it would have happened had I not, sent the message to the universe that I wanted to level up, and I wanted to up my game in a big way. I wanted to invest in myself through investing in your program, and just everything that you've taught me about, just how to talk to people about what's going on in your heart, how to share your story with people, the importance of that. All these little things have come to better, have come all together for me. Now that I found a way to improve my health, and so my brain's actually working again.
Right.
So that's through the new product line. But so now that my brain's working, then everything that you've taught me is coming together, and it all just helped me to rise up in a way that I never thought was possible for me.
Well, what I love is you are not the same person than when we first met at all. You now are the person that always was inside, that wanted to come out, but like you even like physically look different. Like you glow now. When I saw you at the last workshop, I was like, is that Hayley? Like you look so awesome now. And it's because you have stepped into that person that you knew that you could become, and that is like the most rewarding thing, to see you change. Not only like now you have this awesome business, because you've stepped into like, this is my zone of genius. This is who I can help. And this is how I can help them. You're very clear on that, but you're able to do that for other people. And what a gift that is to them, because you did the hard thing, because this journey was hard, but you went through and did the hard stuff in order to go and help other people. And I just love that. So like, round of applause to you. It's
Thank
awesome.
you. I'm like tearing up, like when you say it like that, when you say about my journey, because it really was that hard. Like just everything, the program just highlighted how chaotic my life had been, and, just how out of whack everything was. And so, it forced me to step back and say, what, I'm going to take control of this. And, and God God let me do that. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the program. I'm grateful for you and everything that you do.
Oh, well, I'm so grateful for you and just everything that you're doing with helping other people and showing these moms who maybe want to be an extended nurser but don't know how to do it, or because it's something that's like nursing in general is starting to be a little bit like socially taboo, but then like taking it to that next step of no, we're doing extended nursing, that is takes it to a whole nother level, and you're putting yourself out there of where like, look, I can help and represent you. So that way people who are a little scared or are not really sure if that's something that they can not physically do, but like socially do, because it's a hard thing. And you are there to be their support. Like, that's just amazing.
And then on the physical side, if there's things that you don't know and you're not cognizant of, it can actually be dangerous. So,
because you've experienced that.
Yes. Should I talk about that?
Sure, go for it.
Okay. So 4 years ago, about 4 years ago, I didn't know about some of the things that extended nursing can do. And so one of the dangers in extended nursing is that it can really be a huge draw on your electrolytes and your sodium levels. And so because I didn't know that, a combination of factors led me to have extremely low sodium to the point where I had a seizure and I was in a coma for 3 days. And so I almost died. I was on my deathbed. My husband was begging God to save me. And, they had to slowly bring my sodium levels up because that's what happens when it gets so extremely low. But basically, I had no idea that that was a danger, that could even happen. And so when I started having weird symptoms, I was doing the exact opposite of what I should have been doing. And so a little bit of education in that scenario would have gone a long way. And so that's part of why I'm so adamant about helping extended nursers, because it can physically be dangerous if you don't know what's going on with your body. So a lot of us, we want to lose weight, we want to be active, we want to get our bodies back, we want to move on with life because we're in it for the long run. But when you do that, you have to be safe about it. So so that's what I talk about in my group.
So if anyone wants to know more about what you do, where is the best place for them to find you?
Okay, so I have a Facebook group and it's called Extended Breastfeeding / Nursing Warriors. And and so I'll put a link to it at the bottom here. So you can definitely find me there. You can friend me on Facebook as well. And I'd love to connect with anybody. If you're even if you're not an extended nurser, you're just a regular nurser. These things apply to you too. So
right.
Or somebody who's a nurser. I definitely welcome anybody. It's a welcoming environment, and it's a celebration of nursing, but it's also practical things that you need to know to help you feel better through nursing.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll make sure the link goes below this video. And Hayley, thank you so much for taking time and talking to us and sharing your journey.
Thank you, Brooke. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for just the acknowledgement and all the support you've given me through my journey. It means the world to me. So I'm so grateful for you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. All right, we'll see you guys soon. Later.